Welcome back, everyone, to another episode of Rhodium Radio, episode 352. And before I introduce my very special guest, some minor announcements. I usually don't like to start off with something like this, but it's a must. I want to say rest in peace to Nasty Ness. Rest in peace to Nasty Ness. He passed away yesterday. I don't know the details of it. I got a phone call this morning, and I interviewed this man. If you guys care to watch his episode, he's episode 169 on Rhodium Radio, episode 169. You guys get to see his character, his personality. I mean, the guy was just a funny guy. He was full of life, full of energy, and he started out in Seattle. A lot of people know him by being with Sir Mix-a-Lot. He was in a lot of their videos. He was actually even featured on a song called Radio by NWA Eazy-E. He spoke on it towards the end. But I just wanted to say, rest in peace to him and keep his family, in prayers. It's always sad when you have to make an announcement, but I wanted to show this man his proper respect. So with that being said, there's an album that I would like to promote because I had a small little role in it. I produced one song. 98% of this album was produced by Genesis, known as Forever Genesis. 6-song EP. I'm going to make a longer video about this because I believe she deserves more credit. She plays all her own music. She writes all her own lyrics. She produces all her own tracks, and she brought some heavy hitters in for this album. Tony G, the producer of La Raza Mentirosa, mixed his album along with Chris the Glove Taylor, who engineered a lot of the Chronic stuff for Dr. Dre and produced also a lot of stuff for Dre as well. So if you guys, her album came out in February 14th, which was just a couple of days ago on Valentine's Day, and it's on all digital platforms. If you guys want to hit her up for hard copies, albums. She's coming out with vinyl. She's coming out with CDs. Hit her on her Instagram, Forever Genesis on Instagram. It's also Forever Genesis on Facebook. So much love and respect to her, but more to come about her. She'll be releasing a video soon on her first single. Now, for those of you guys that watch Dr. Green Thumb, you guys know that B Real is my brother from Cypress Hill. I will be a special guest once again on Dr. Green Thumb this Tuesday at 2 o'clock. So make sure you guys tap in. I want the Rhodium Radio, warriors all in, hanging out with the Insane Asylum on Dr. Green Thumb once again this Tuesday. So much love and respect to the Dr. Green Thumb podcast. Make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell button. So when 2 o'clock comes around, you guys get to see me. I'm going to be sharing some new stuff. I'm going to be talking about an instrumental album that I'll be releasing myself. It's stuff that I've had since the late 80s and mid 90s that I produced that I just never released. I think you guys will truly enjoy. So with that being said, please allow me to introduce someone that came all the way from Houston, Texas. She's here to chill with us. So please allow me to introduce Iamlopez. ¿Cómo estás?
Oh, my goodness. Good. Muy bien. Muchas gracias. Thank you.
You know what? I heard through the grapevine that you guys rocked Bakersfield yesterday. Is that true?
Oh, my goodness. We did. We
Really?
rocked Bakersfield. It was amazing. It was so much fun. Like, I did not expect them to embrace me that way, and it was amazing.
Okay. Now, have you ever performed there before, or was this the first time?
No, this is my first time. This is my first time performing in Cali ever.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, I saw your page because we follow each other on Instagram that you were in New York as well. Was that the first
Yes.
time in New York?
Yes, as well.
What are your thoughts about New York?
I liked it, I didn't see a rat, because some people kept asking me from Houston. They're like, did you see any rats? And I really didn't. I didn't see any rats. Probably because it was super cold. It snowed.
Oh, okay.
So it was horrible. I mean, the snow was really beautiful to look at. But
Right.
then it becomes like slushy and everything gets
Yeah.
heavy because it gets wet. But I enjoyed it, like the hustle and bustle of the fast city. Like I think Houston kind of prepared me to at least be ready for some type of New
Right.
York. It wasn't as huge of a culture shock as they make it seem.
I've always encouraged anybody that's in the rap game to go visit New York because I believe that's where it all started, especially the Bronx. Did you go to different parts of New York as far as Bronx, Brooklyn?
Brooklyn,
Harlem?
I was a part. I was staying right there in Times Square because I went for New York Fashion Week.
Okay.
So there was, a lot of things there in the fashion district.
Okay. I like Times Square, but you literally have to do like a 360 because the screens are amazing out there.
It's insane.
It
was
is.
a lot to look at, but it was dope. The pictures came out amazing. Like I was so excited. And then I ran into people that, you know, other rappers, they're sitting on the, you know, or they're standing there showing,
Right.
giving their information, giving their music. And I
Right.
thought that was pretty cool too.
You know, have you gone to Hollywood yet?
No.
Okay. Don't go during the day.
Okay.
Go at night. It looks a little bit more what people think Hollywood should look like. Do not expect Disneyland. Do not expect Times Square.
Okay.
Because it's really like a fucking rundown alley with a bunch of fucking winos, like smelling like piss when you walk around.
Well, damn.
Hey, I grew over there, Tony.
You're probably the one pissing.
Hey.
So, no, but honestly, Hollywood is not what you think.
It's not what they
is.
say.
Not
it
at all.
is.
Go at night. At least you see the lights, and it kind of
Yeah.
looks like what you think Hollywood should look like.
Honestly, I've enjoyed the mountains. I've enjoyed the scenery more than anything. You know, we just came back from Bakersfield, so it was so nice to just see the way the road would wind into the mountains, and then these huge ass mountains, and then it's like a plain, you know, where like all the crops and stuff are. It's like just like a basin. It was so beautiful to look at. Like
Between L.A. and New York, what do you like better so far?
Well, for the scenery, obviously, I would say L.A., you know, and I've been here longer.
Okay.
You know, I've been able to enjoy L.A. a lot more than New York. New York was quick, you know. I ended up like, they say don't get on the trains for a reason, you know, and it was crazy because some guy was like, it was bad. I don't even know if I could talk about that on here, but like, yeah, he was beating his meat in the damn train, bro. Like he was
beating his
standing.
meat?
Yes, like he literally exposed himself. Like he freaking licked his nipples and like licked his hands, and I was just like, oh my god! Like I didn't even realize what he was doing until me and my friend kind of looked over, and I was like, bro, this is the shit they be talking about. Like
New York, big city.
nasty New York, okay. And so my friend pulled out the camera so fast, like, you want to be weird? All right, what's up? And then homie turned around so quick, he took off. I was like, yeah, because we was going to have to catch a case behind that. Listen, there was nothing magical about that ride, okay? Shit was crazy.
Wow. Okay, well, fuck. Welcome
You know?
to New York.
But right, that's what they said though. They're like, oh well, you know, if nothing like that happens, then you really didn't go to New York. I said, that's the standard. God,
I'm gonna be out there in about a week. I'll be out there for about 3 days. I got a friend.
Don't ride the train at night.
I've already done it because this will be like my fourth or fifth time going out there.
Yeah.
I like New York. I wouldn't live out there, but
Right.
I'd go to visit. So I'm pretty much going to make some connection with my friend that lives out there. He used to run a podcast for 50 Cent called This Is 50.
Okay.
50, you know, and they run it on their website. 50 was going in on P. Diddy hard.
Right.
And his entire page got taken down.
Damn.
Yeah.
They didn't like that.
Yeah, they didn't like that. So the entire page got taken down. So now, yeah, we got to find somewhere else to promote our music out there. But now, LA, New York, what's next for you before we actually get into the meat and potatoes of this interview?
Well, we have a tour already, the I Got You tour already going. So basically, you know, it started New York and then here, and then we're going back to Houston. My birthday is March 3rd, so I will be back in Houston for my birthday, and we have a major show on the Iamlopez show on March 1st.
Okay.
So I'm going to do, you know, I haven't performed in Houston since January 1st.
Okay.
So it's been a minute since I performed for my
Right.
city. So I'm trying to get out there and do that show. And then we're back on the road. I mean, we have all parts of Texas, you know, Dallas, San Antonio. We have Colorado. And some other things. I don't remember all the dates, but yeah, we're up until May. Until May 5th, we're kind of busy. So
how do you like the traveling thing?
I love it. I love to travel.
Yeah.
I'm a road dog. Yeah.
That's dope.
Like,
You know, I was just in Houston. I'm going to give a shout out to, once again, the Gotos. He flew me out there because there was 8 artists that he wanted me to interview, and he said it's just cheaper to bring you out here for like 4 days and instead of flying out 8 guys.
right,
you know?
right.
So I said, okay, cool. So we called the Road and Radio Houston Takeover. So I interviewed 4 guys, and the number one question that I would ask everybody, like I asked you, is there anything you don't want to talk about?
Right.
And then they all said SPM. And I said,
Nobody wants to talk about him.
yeah, I said,
right?
I'm not going to mention it. Okay, cool. And then lights, camera, action. What did you talk about? SPM. And I was like, okay. Tomorrow, guys, I'm going to be releasing our first interview. I won't tell you who it is. You're going to have to tune in. For tomorrow, we're going to premiere a Roadie and Radio Takeover, Houston Takeover over there. It's been powered by Gotos. And my very first guest that I interviewed gave a very, very controversial interview. And I'm going to ask you the same question later on what I asked him.
Okay.
But definitely check it out, bro. You guys are going to be surprised. I was shocked when he said that. I wasn't going to go there, but I said, okay, since he went there, let me just dig a little deeper.
Right. He's like...
So exactly. So now, for the people that may not know, or it's the first time hearing about Iamlopez, where originally are you from? Where did you grow up at?
I grew up in Houston, Texas. So on the north side, Houston, Texas, in a neighborhood called Willowwood. Okay. And I was raised with my grandparents and my mom. So, so, you know, I was born and raised in Houston. I've lived there my whole life. Now I live in the neighborhood I grew up in. You know, I got a house in there. So it's dope. Like, I love being from Houston.
Right. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Now, let me ask this question. Growing up, you said you grew up with your grandparents, so this may be a little different. Growing up, what kind of music did your grandparents play around the house?
It wasn't rap, that's for sure.
Okay.
But the old, you know, my grandpa would listen to a lot of like Pedro Infante, Vicente Fernandez, you know, all kinds of old school Mexican music. You know, my grandma loved Los Bukis, you know, Marco Antonio Solis, you know, Ana Gabriel, I just, you know, like those people that, you know, Linda Ronstadt, excuse me. And then, of course, old school country music too, you know. I would listen to all kinds of, that was like his forte. He loved that. And so I was always traveling with them. So that's what I would listen to a lot, you know. And then hymnos, you know, from church.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is your parents originally from Houston? I mean, your grandparents, I mean?
No, they're from Mexico.
Okay. Do you mind giving us what part of Mexico?
Yeah. So Tamaulipas. Yeah, Tamaulipas, Mexico. My grandpa is from Monterrey. My grandma is from Santa Polonia, which is a bordering town right there by Vallehermoso. So yeah, they're, you know, my mom's from Brownsville, Texas. And then my dad's from Durango, Mexico. Okay. So but Tamaulipas, you know, that's where my family's from.
You grew up speaking Spanish?
Yes.
You'll be surprised. Okay. Now I'm not trying to throw nobody under the bus. I'm just going to say it the way it is. Okay?
Right. Period.
I've been knowing Chicano rappers since the early '90s. Okay. 90% of them don't speak Spanish. I think that's kind of disappointing.
I can tell. Yeah.
You know, it's kind of just because in my home, even though my English is a lot better than my Spanish now, but I'm fluent in Spanish. You know, one thing I'm not good at is writing in Spanish. I've never been. But now in my home, you weren't allowed to speak English. You had to speak Spanish. Right. So cool, whatever, you know. But I think it's a blessing to be able to know two different languages.
Yeah, definitely. Most definitely.
Growing up, to be quite honest with you, I'm about to be 57, okay? Next month, March 28th, okay? Wow. I'm a March baby. And what happened was that growing up, I was afraid to speak Spanish at school. Yeah. I don't know if you ever felt that way growing up.
I would say I felt that probably in like my real early years in like elementary, you know, because there was still a stigma behind speaking Spanish. I do, you know, my mom dealt with it. My uncles dealt with it. My grandparents for sure, you know, dealt with the, you know, like don't speak Spanish in front of, you know.
Right.
Yeah, we're in America, speak English, you know,
Yeah, I remember I had some like Chicano homies that, believe it or not, they acted more white than anything.
Yeah, that whitewash shit. Yeah,
and then they would try to lie and say that their parents were not from Mexico, they were born in Hawaii, or anything but Mexico. So one day, I remember there was this guy, I was in 7th grade, and I was hanging around with these guys that were my so-called friends, and there was a guy that came from Mexico, and my teacher asked me, can you help him out, show him where his locker's at, where his PE class is at, etc. So I was talking to him in Spanish, and those guys that was supposed to be my friend heard me talking in Spanish, and the first thing he said, we knew you were a wetback.
Oh, wow. And now we fighting.
Yeah, so I'm like, oh, okay.
Bro, and what are you, it's like, and what are you exactly? Because if we were both born here and our parents are both Mexican.
Me growing up, I never claimed to be Chicano. I just said I was Mexican.
Yeah, I
That's
mean,
it.
I didn't realize there were, like the Chicano and thing was until I got older, you know.
Right, right.
You know, but then I realized like I'm Mexican American, you know, it's like I am fluent. I read it, write it, speak it, you know, and then I'm cultured in it too. Like I've traveled all the way to Oaxaca and Chiapas and all these different places, you know. So like I've been out there. I've eaten with, you know, my people on the floor before, you know, where
Yeah.
it's like just different because my grandpa is a minister. And so
Okay.
and so he would travel, you know, gospel meetings and stuff. To all these places. Yeah. And
So you were raised in the church?
yeah.
Well, that's good. I'm glad you can say that. Some
Yeah.
people hide that.
Yeah, my grandparents so basically my dad got locked up when I was 2.
Okay.
And so my mom went and lived with my grandparents and he did a 12-year bid, you know, and so basically I was raised by my grandparents with my mom, you know, so it's like mis jefes eran los que mandan, you know, so it's like my mom was there, you know, and big shout out to my mom, you know, but we were, you know, like that's how they raised me, you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so I was raised in the church because he, like I said, he was a preacher, and so every Sunday, you know, twice on Sunday, you know, Bible study on Wednesday, and then when they had the gospel meetings, it was every day, you know, for weeks. And I'm like,
I was a Catholic boy. I was a see me Catholic. Only like on Easter, you only see me Christmas.
oh no, I got baptized and everything. It was crazy. Like, yeah.
Awesome. Well, I'm glad that you can actually be transparent and share that with us,
Yeah.
because a lot of times you'll be surprised how many, if you will, actors, how many musicians, how many artists were literally raised in the church. And like, there's a guy that I really love to listen to named Sam Cooke. Okay. He left the church and told his dad that he wanted to come and sing and make it big.
Yeah.
And he came out to Hollywood and got killed.
Damn. That's crazy.
It's crazy. They have a documentary on Netflix
Yeah.
if you guys want to look that up. Very, very entertaining. But now, growing up, I know you probably weren't allowed to listen to secular music.
Correct.
So at what age would you say you got introduced to rap? I got introduced to rap at 11 years old. There was a song called Rapper's Delight. It had just dropped, and I thought rapping was phenomenal.
Yeah.
So what's your story about what age would you say?
Oh, okay. So it was definitely after my sister was born, and we're like 8 years apart. So I was over 8. Actually, I was probably younger. No, yeah, because my cousin was showing me how to do the crybaby. Like my older cousin, like I don't, you know, the dance move.
I don't know that move.
Okay. Okay, it's something that like 8-year-olds should not be doing that shit. You know what I mean? But like basically, you know how like back in the day they had like I guess it was like the MTV or whatever late at night where they were just playing at the music videos.
Yes.
Okay, and so she was the one who came out and showed me basically. She showed us how to do the crybaby, how to do the worm, you know, how to do these like really provocative dances, you know, when we were young. So that's when rap, I guess, kind of came, or you know, music like that kind of came introduced to me. Yeah, but I didn't start like listening to it until I was able to get like an AirPod. What was it? Was it the
iPod?
iPod, yeah, the iPod, or the little MP3s. I had this little blue thing. It looked like a button, you know, and you just pressed it, and you would get your music off of LimeWire. Back then, when I didn't know I was
but back
breaking
then,
the law.
back then, getting music off of LimeWire, what were you downloading?
I was downloading Eminem. I was downloading Missy Elliott. There was just so many things that I was Zero for sure. Like I couldn't leave Drink alone, you know, and I didn't even know what the hell that was. You know what I mean? Like what else would I listen to? I would listen to Daddy Yankee and Don Omar and like all the reggaeton, all the, you know, Tego Calderon, all the, you know, all them too, you know. So that's what I'm saying is like just as much in English I listen to in Spanish, you know. And so and not just Mexican. It was, you know, Latin, like different, you know, Puerto Rican or you know, Dominican or, you know, whatever. But yeah, I would sneak listen to all that stuff.
Okay, I'm gonna put you on the spot with this question. Give me your top 5 all-time favorite rappers. Doesn't matter where they're from. It could be a group or it could be a rapper.
Okay. Top 5. Well, like I said, Missy Elliott is definitely on there. J. Cole.
Okay.
Joyner Lucas,
Okay.
Eminem, Lopez.
Iamlopez. Okay. Let me ask you this: Biggie Smalls or Tupac?
Tupac.
Okay. You know, I asked that, and only one time out of all these interviews has one person said Notorious, B.I.G.
Yeah, I know. I just relate to Tupac way more.
Okay.
You know, I feel him when I listen to him differently than
Yeah.
not to say that I don't feel Biggie, but it's just it's different. Like he was very spiritual in a sense, in the way he wrote his music and the way he embodied the person that he was trying to be, the leader that he was trying to be.
Yeah.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean? It was different. You know, it's like there's a difference between like growing up in the struggle and becoming a hustler and working hard and having a work ethic. That's you can't take that from Biggie, you know,
Okay.
but like Tupac was like anointed, you know. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. Favorite Tupac song, if you have one?
Well, for sure, I would say "Dear Mama."
Okay.
I really love that song, and
You know which one is mine, and I've said it plenty of times here on this podcast. Is So Many Tears.
yeah,
Once that shit kicks in, it's like I wish I was the one rapping that.
man, he's so talented.
You know, there's gonna be look. Let me tell you something. Even 20 years from now,
Mhm.
people are still gonna be talking about Tupac.
Of course,
You know,
forever.
the sad part is this. Look how talented he was. Look at his mic presence. Okay. Listen to his lyrics, and he was only 25 years old.
I know. Exactly. Some of them never got to grow. You know, they never got to fully develop into who they were meant. You know what I mean?
Now, I'm going to say something that's not controversial to me,
Mm-hmm.
but it's going to be to a lot of Chicano rap community. Okay. Everybody knows what school I came from. Okay. I started in the music industry in 1987. I've been around Dr. Dre, Eazy-E, Ice Cube, DJ Quick, all of them. I've been in the studio. Those two were like my camps. Okay. I seen them record. I seen the way they work. I seen Dre produce. I seen Dre engineer. I seen Quick produce. I seen him engineer. Every time I left, I knew that if I had to come back, I had to elevate or step up my game.
Right.
Those guys helped me elevate my game.
Correct.
In other words, there's artists like that that can give you something that a producer can't. Let's just say, hypothetically, Ice Cube walks into the vocal booth and you see the way he carries himself. And it's not the way you carry yourself.
Right.
You're going to be able to say, fuck, he went in there and knocked that shit out like a fucking professional.
Right.
I need to somehow elevate my game if I ever want to be on that level.
Correct.
I truly do believe that there's a lot of Chicano rappers out there that do not have great mic presence. They're just rapping.
Right.
They're just rapping. Now, I'm going to give you one guy that I believe had great mic presence. There's one guy, and I believe it was Frank V from Proper Dos. Listen to his second album. Those are the first two that I recommend. I'm going to tell you two other guys but most of these guys had hit records. These guys did commercials with Selena. I thought Lighter Shade of Brown had a great mic presence.
Yes.
You know, so I think that's what we're lacking today. So it's that Tupac shit that he came with on the mic, that Biggie shit that he came with. You know, that's why they're classics.
Right.
They took their time.
And they had this confidence. That's what I'm saying. Everybody want to be a rapper because it looks cool now or whatever. But it's like do you believe what you're talking about?
Right.
You know, like when you spitting in the booth, are you actually believing, or is it just, oh, I'm gonna say this because I know they're gonna like it, or you know, whatever. You know, I'm not to say that artists don't cater to their audience.
Right.
I'm just saying, like, you know, there's a difference between writing up some shit and then writing something you believe in. You know,
Right. I've had artists that have come here, like a guy named Nocturnal. Okay, he's just one of many that have come here that have recorded with Dre. And I've seen how Dre worked in the 80s, and he's obviously stepped up his game. But that guy Nocturnal said, man, when I sang that fucking chorus, I sang it like 150 times. And Dre kept saying, do it again. Do it again. He was trying to get me to open up my voice. He was trying to get me to bring what I have inside of me to fruition on the microphone.
right.
And a lot of times dudes nail it, but it's not there. It could be better.
Right.
That's why I tell people, if you're going to work with me, like, you got to bring your A game, because that's the school that I came from.
Mm-hmm.
If I think that, your lyrics are dope, but you sucked on the mic, you're gonna do it again.
Correct.
You're gonna do it again until we finally get it right. This is what's gonna set you apart from everybody else.
Correct.
So, I mean, look, nobody ever made a difference by being like everybody else.
Mediocre.
There it is there. So now, at what point in time and at what age would you say that you decided to take this rap thing serious? Like, when did you start writing shit?
I
What
started
age?
writing in 2015. So 10 years ago. So what, I was 18.
Okay.
Yeah, it was what prompted it was the pregnancy of my first child. And so I took Wet Dreams from J. Cole and I wrote a cover to it. And you know, I sang the chorus the way he kind of sang it, and then I rapped in between, just kind of desahogándome, like just writing, you know, a story about what my reality was, you know, about my pregnancy, about being pregnant or whatever. And so I put it on my Facebook back then when I was active on my Facebook the right way, and it went crazy. You know, people loved it, and it was super vulnerable. And then I started writing, you know, and I started practicing, and I would freestyle a lot more, and I didn't start taking it serious and like stepping out until 2019 is when I started doing underground competitions, you know, really hopping out there. Who is Lopez, you know, and writing my first EP.
Now,
you know,
this may be a dumb question I'm about to ask you, but you said underground like competitions, okay? In order for you to do that, you have to come with it. You have to have some type of skill.
Yeah.
When did you know you had that? And did you knew you were good?
I kept sweeping. I kept winning. I kept beating everybody every time.
That's awesome.
Every time I competed, wherever I was at, I would win.
So you went against dudes, I take it, as well.
Oh, hell yeah. All the dudes, man. Some of them became my friends. It's like you can't beat her, join her, you know?
Wow.
And so, you know, some of them were like, all right, I see you, bitch. I see you, you know, and it was dope, you know, but yeah, I was sweeping. I was, you know, whatever money was up, I was there. Or if it was free videos, free promo, free this, free that, you know, whatever it was, I was eating it every time, you know, because that's my work ethic. That's what I know how to do. It's like, okay, well, I don't know shit about shit, but you know, I know this. And so everywhere I went, I would get laced up a little more, you know, doing more shows, doing, you know, meeting more promoters, meeting more artists, you know, and producers and stuff like that.
Is there a specific artist that inspired your style?
I would say once I really started rapping, a lot of people compare me to her, but I would say just because of the representation that she has allowed for our Latina women, Snow the Product definitely, you know, I'm sure has done that for a lot of women, you know, and just representation, man, just knowing, like, you know, it's a possibility, and then seeing the way she would rip it, and you know, and how long she's done it, and just, you know, her consistency and all that. I think that just gives other artists, you know, hope to be like, yeah, si se puede, you know, you can, you know what I mean?
If she wanted to go heads up with you, would you?
Oh, fuck yeah. I would love that.
Really?
Hell yeah.
Hey, shout her out right now.
I would
so
love
she can
that.
see this.
Yeah.
She'll
Hey,
probably
Snow, baby, let's work, okay? Because you were an OG in the game, but I think there's something you could teach me, and I want to know. I want to see.
Okay, well, that'll work. That'll work. All good. Okay, you know what? Now I have to ask you this, and I asked the question to a lot of the Houston artists that were there over last weekend. Who is the number one ever best artist or best group that has come out of Houston?
The best artist that has come out of Houston?
Whether it's solo or whether it's a group. Who's legendary that you could say, when you think of Houston, you got to think of this group or this guy?
Well, like UGK, you know?
Okay.
I think they did something huge, you know, Pimp C and all the, that's the thing, is like all the H-Town, you know, like that was what it was. That's big for us, you know? But now it's like, I would say Meg Thee Stallion for sure.
Okay.
Has, you know, surpassed a lot of numbers, and a lot of, you know, she's become international, you know, so I think that's huge. It's a huge thing for Houston, you know. Obviously Beyonce, but she's on a, like
Okay.
she's she's in a whole nother tax bracket that we don't even know exists.
Right. Okay. I've asked once again 8 artists this question, and none of them even mentioned. Some of them said, "Well, I could give you my top 5." Cool, but they never mentioned this group or this rapper that's in the group, the Ghetto Boys
Ghetto Boys.
with Scarface. Maybe before your time. Okay.
Maybe
I
am
toured
I
with them.
showing my ass right now?
Yeah.
I'm so sorry.
No, it's all good. It's all
I'm fucking
good.
with the name, and I have heard Scarface. Like I probably listened to him.
Amazing rapper.
I'm horrible with like names and faces. I will never forget your face, but it's like.
Yeah. Let me give a shout out once again to Scarface, Willie D, and Bushwick Bill. Rest in peace.
Oh yes.
Houston.
Okay. Bushwick Bill. Yes.
My mind's playing tricks on me.
Yes.
That one.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Fuck yeah, I know
It
that.
wasn't even close to Halloween.
Oh my gosh.
But nobody ever mentions them, and I'm like, dude, I toured with those guys in 1992.
Yeah.
So I learned a lot from their stage presence.
Yeah.
Some of the greatest performances I've ever seen. I'll go down the line. NWA. I saw them perform. They were fucking amazing. KRS-One by himself, amazing. He just him, 2 turntables and a microphone with his DJ, and that was it. Okay.
Period.
After that, Cypress Hill.
Yes.
With her first album, amazing. And 4th, Ghetto Boys. And I'm gonna say this, I'm gonna toot my own horn. When me, DJ Quick, AMG, Second Ten on High C toured, we were tearing it up.
Period.
Tearing it up. I was on the turntables, getting my damn respect, because back then there wasn't a lot of Latino DJs. They were scarce,
Right.
but there were good ones. But I was touring. As soon as I got on the turntables,
Fucking that shit up.
fucking it up. I did all my shit talking on there.
Period.
Yes. Now, for the people that don't know, do you have an album out now? Do you have an EP? Do you have a single?
Yeah. I got hella music out.
Okay.
Yeah.
When was your first single released? Can you take us down memory lane?
Yeah. So I think it was 2019. Who is Lopez? It was an EP. It was a 4 EP. It was Who is Lopez? They, Grinding, and what was the last one? Oh my gosh. I don't know. It was a more sentimental song. I'm trying to remember right now, but I did that. Then I did a 6 count EP, which was that one had. It was called Just in Case, and this was before I knew who Just in Case was.
Okay.
And it was Payasa, Fire. I started singing a little more on that one. Blast Off. And these are all like real fun, upbeat type tracks. I'm still, figuring out who I am,
Right.
And then 2022, I dropped Karma is the album. The first album I ever dropped came with intro, outro, and like 4 features.
Right.
And it was dope. I love it to this day. It's still great music. My favorite song, City to City, is off of Karma. And then I've had singles and features in between there. And then my last big project was the Iamlopez album.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, why Iamlopez? Can you kind of like explain that for us?
So the phrase "I am" is very powerful in itself. It's a statement. It's an affirmation. And when I was in school, I was known as Lopez because I would raise pigs. I was in student council. I had different things that I would do. And so it was always Lopez, hey, Lopez,
Okay.
And so I got it on my letterman when I lettered, and then like all that stuff. And so it just naturally came because it's like I am Lopez. Like Lopez is so many different things in one thing, and I'm an artist, I'm a mother, I'm a daughter, I'm a sister, I'm an actress, everything. Like there's so many things that I am can be, and it's like I'm all those things. I am Lopez,
Did you ever have a name before that?
No, it's always been I am Lopez.
Really?
Yeah.
Anybody ever want you to change it?
No one's ever told me to change it. If anything, I have like an alias like La Mala, who recently has been ripping shit up. So it's like I am Lopez, aka La Mala,
Right.
So but no, I don't plan on ever changing.
Now, what's
my
the name of that song where you rapped over "Funky Enough" by the DOC?
Oh, Joan of Arc. Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
It's called Joan of Arc.
Why Joan of Arc?
Because Joan of Arc, well, first of all, her birthday was January 6th, so that's why I dropped it January 6th
Okay.
of this year. And she was a saint, from France, basically. She believed that she was anointed, and she went against a lot of people in battle under this one king. And she was ripping it up, she was doing a great job, and she just fought her ass off, against all these, and in the time where women weren't even allowed to talk, you know what I mean?
Right.
Type shit. So it was just very empowering. I really just when I learned about her more and I read about her and how she was misunderstood, they ended up burning her at the stake because they believed that she was a witch, because they were like, there's no way you're this good at, all this shit. And it's like,
isn't it funny that she was burned, okay?
Yeah.
Alive. Then today you got witches on Instagram and Facebook, contact me, I'll read you some shells and
that's my
chicken
thing is
bones.
people just burn and kill what they don't understand. The people in power. That's how freaking messed up it is,
Yeah.
It's because she wasn't preaching witchcraft or stuff, anything like that. She was saying God was speaking to her, and well, of course men think oh no, women don't get spoken to by God. This was a belief back in the day.
It was absolutely.
So that crazy, and I just feel like sometimes I have this huge target on my back because I'm so unapologetic about what I am and who I am, and I don't give a fuck. I don't hold my tongue. I don't pull any punches. If it's hard, then fuck it. Let's make it harder. Like I'm 100% in, because I believe in what I stand for, and that's where it's like I'm always trying my best to learn and be teachable as well, because I don't believe that everything, that I believe may be correct or something, so I try my best to be objective.
Okay. Now, why did you pick Funky Enough to rap? Why that beat? There's a reason why I'm asking, okay? I'll tell you after.
Okay, so Filero, for one, he's the one who remade that beat, and we were in the studio, and there was all kinds of things going on at the time, and he's like, what do you think about this? And he put it on, and I was just like, man, that shit is tight, right? Because honestly, to be completely transparent with you, I didn't know the funky beat, the DOC, and I know it's gonna make a lot of y'all be like, damn, shit, I didn't fucking know. Bro, like, I'm learning, okay? And I'm paying homage where it's due, you get what I'm saying? So, but yeah, my manager and my producer laced me up on who DOC was. I was like, what? Dallas Oak Cliff? What? Erykah Badu? What? I was just like, what the hell?
Yeah.
Like, my mind was blown. And then to just go on there and wreck that shit like that, like it was just so much fun. Like, that's my
And
thing.
he's
is
from
like,
Texas.
Yes, exactly. And so I was just super excited that the beat was playing, and it just ran. It was just like, fuck it, boom, no,
Right. That one caught my eye. Okay. I'm going to tell you why. Okay. In the 80s, there were some records released out of New York. So I'm giving it to you in chronological order how that song came to be.
Okay.
There was a guy named Lenny and a guy named Breakbeat Lou. And what they did, 4 DJs, they grabbed songs that had a breakbeat in it. So let's just say, for an example, that there's a James Brown song, and in the middle of it, he says, take me to the bridge. What he would do, they would just extend it, okay?
Okay.
Put that on a vinyl. So they would collect 6 songs on one side, 6 songs on the other, as Ultimate Breakbeats 1.
Okay.
Okay, so they released 25 albums of those, which I still have in the next room, okay?
That's crazy.
So what happened was, I had a Japanese manager named Steve. He was in contact with them. He bought them, and he gave me 2 sets of them, because every DJ has 2 of the same. He said, right now, only you and Dre have these copies. I didn't know what they were. And he said, just play it. Started playing and started hearing Funky Drummer, Funky Worm, all these crazy breakbeats. And I was like, holy shit. He said, therefore sampling. And I said, okay. So he took me to Audio Achievements. Audio Achievements is where Dre flew in the DOC, and they tracked the DOC's first album. Here, the city next door named Torrance. the studio's called Audio Achievements. It ain't too far from here.
Yeah.
Okay. And I remember Jure was just dropping needle on those ultimate breaks and beats. Take it off, put it back in the sleeve, open another one. And then he came across one and he told a guy named Ali Jure, rest in peace, to play this. Dun-dum, 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 dun-dum. And then Jure's like, I can hear that. Then he starts putting together the beat, and I saw that beat come to fruition in front of me.
Wow.
And then the DLC, when he went in there, you know what? A lot of people don't know this. When he went in there, now he told me this. I don't know if he changed the story or not, but I asked him, on that song, you came with some kind of like crazy reggae style, and then you never did that again or the whole album. And he said, when I went in there and I started rapping that, I was just fucking around. And Dre said, do it like that. He goes, so I just did it just for that one song.
That makes sense.
Yeah, so I'm going to quote Nelly, because Nelly said that the DLC it will always be known as the greatest what if, because he lost his voice.
Yeah.
And I remember the day that it happened, the very next day, we went into the studio, and we were talking with his engineer, Donovan Dirtbiker Smith. He had just told us what had happened, that he flew through the window, cut his vocal cords, and...
Oh, my God.
Yes, and he was about to go on tour. He was literally about to go on the Biz Markie tour, and it never happened. So... much love and respect to the DLC. Yes. He did a interview, I believe, with Fat Five Freddy about 2 years ago. And they told him, would you consider writing another album using your AI voice? And so he let a little bit out, and he said, I wrote the lyrics. They put my voice as AI over it. Right. And he was like, and it was me.
Right.
It was me all over again. You know, and that's just the way he talks now.
Right.
But I was like, fuck, I would love to hear another DLC album. So
anyway. Listen, AI is it's a beautiful thing and it's a scary thing. But you know what I mean? Is. Like you know, if you're gonna use it for something like that, I think fuck yeah, man, go for it.
Go for it.
You know what I mean? Like it's like fuck what it is. What's it sound like? You know what I mean? Because I can envision it in my head. I can envision you. You know what I mean?
Now that song with the DLC, you said it's called Joan of Arc, if I'm correct? Okay. For people that maybe have not heard it yet, where can they listen to that?
On all streaming platforms. Okay. So you can look up Iamlopez, Iamlopez all together, and it will pop up my music, and it should be the last single. So it should be that first song. If not, Joan of Arc is JOAN of Arc, ARC.
Okay. Now, what song would you say is the one that people like to hear the most? Would you say that's one of them? When you perform?
Well, see, I haven't been performing it a whole bunch because, like I said, it's fairly new.
Okay.
But I would say the one that everybody loves and just wraps it up and turns everybody up and it's just super fun is City to City, and that's from my first album, Karma.
Oh, okay.
It's got a catchy ass hook and I just wreck the verses, you know. But it's very enticing, you know. It makes you want to, you know, get up and dance. And
you're doing a lot of groundwork right now with Mo Hustle.
Yes.
Your producer.
Yes.
Where do you see yourself 5 years from now?
Oh, man. I can only imagine, because what we've been able to do in fucking 5 months together, because that's how long me and Mo have been working together. Literally, okay. Me and Mo and Filero. 5 months. Okay. You know, so in 5 years, I'll have some Grammys, you know, probably an Oscar because I want to act.
Okay.
You know, and I say these things, a lot of people are probably like, oh, you know, that don't mean nothing. But like to a girl growing up, like for me, you know, growing up and seeing, you know, some of my idols and seeing some of these people that may be falling off now because, you know, Hollywood and all this shit. But it's like those artists, those celebrities, they used to mean something, you know, because they were inspirational, they were leaders, they were you know, what role models, what they would say, you know what I mean? Like they was doing something. Now, you know, they make any fucking stupid ass famous, you know, like these, what is it?
TikTokers. Yeah,
these stupid ass TikTokers walking around with high schoolers and shit, and then, you know, it's all clout. It's all the dumbest shit ever. It's like these are the people that y'all are making famous, bro, that have no interest in you know, making society better, making our civilians better, making our kids better. They have no interest in moving the world in the right direction. They're all worried about the next fucking drop, the next clout, the next chain, the next fake ass, you know, this, that, and the third. And I'm sorry, I'm getting a little upset because it's so annoying. Like, So I'm just like, man, I don't, I'm trying to be better on TikTok because I know it's a tool, but it's just all so vain and superficial,
I'm glad you said it, but it's true. We do need it because today it almost seems like to make it, it almost seems like you got to go viral or make it on TikTok.
And then you got to do some stupid ass shit to go viral. And it's like,
I'm going to confess something to you. Talked to Mo about you not too long ago. I don't know, maybe a month ago, maybe even less. And he was bragging about you. And I'll be honest with you, I hadn't even heard your stuff. And I told him, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter how good she is. It doesn't matter how good she is. No, bro, you got to listen to it. It doesn't matter how good she is. Now, I'm going to tell you why I said that.
right.
Because of stuff that you just said. I have a friend that's in the music industry. Represents a lot of well-known artists. But here's what he tells me. Tony, today, nobody's looking for the next hottest chick. Nobody's looking for the next hottest dude. Oh, he said it just like this. All these Jewish guys up here, you know what they want? What does their TikTok look like? Give me their numbers. What does their Spotify look like? Give me their numbers. What do their likes and the numbers on Facebook and on Instagram look like? That's all they're worried about.
I mean, because that's where all the money's at. That's where they're monetizing. That's where they're draining everyone from. You know what I'm saying?
So
yeah,
he said this, Tony, I'm from the old school where we look people that are talented.
Right.
He said they don't give a fuck about that anymore.
I know.
He said you can have the finest, most talented girl, and she has maybe 5,000 followers on Instagram. They won't care.
Right.
But they'll get the guy with the mohawk making a fucking goofy chicken noise, and he went viral on TikTok. They'll sign him.
And see, and that is a battle. That's a constant battle, and that's a fight that I picked a long time ago because I knew I wasn't gonna go viral for no stupid shit like that.
Right.
I go viral now because I rap my ass off, and because there's a shock factor and a shock value in that.
Right.
Because I can do it the way people can't. I can do it a cappella. I can do it on the spot. I can do it in different places. I can do it with, no music, some music, whatever, like I can do it, and see, I knew that in this industry, and it's only gotten worse, which is crazy, but it's like, I'm chipping away at that big ass block of bullshit, Yeah. Slowly but surely, I think I'm waking up other artists who are realizing, as well. And it's a continued effort, It's not and it's not gonna just be me by myself, But if I can inspire and bring other people forward to really start giving a fuck, I feel like a lot of people are so desensitized.
Yeah.
They're not really thinking about what the music could really be. Like there's just so much missing. There's no substance. And I feel like the people that still care, that is our job.
Yeah.
That is our, fight for our own generation to really put on for our people in the right way and really try and help and do what our parents couldn't or what the older generation couldn't, learn from the mistakes, and really try and bring it back, like I said, to the real hip hop, to the real, to real emotion, to real artists, real inspirational people that should be highlighted.
Yeah.
Not, like you said, these freaking idiots that get the numbers. And it's like, okay, I understand that, but if all that is so quickly, just as quick as you go up, you can come down, So
Very true. Now, I'm going to share this with you so I could finish off my story.
Mm-hmm.
I know what he meant. And I know it's true. That I hate it, yeah. And he told me the same thing. He goes, bro, I hate it too because these people are not talented. He said, we're signing now influencers.
Right.
And I remember when I told him, well, what happens if TikTok this is before TikTok got shut down.
Right.
What happens if TikTok gets shut down? There goes their numbers. What, are you guys going to boot them?
Yeah.
And then TikTok did go down and there was a bunch of fucking people crying. Oh my God. I was like, bro, if you fucking depend on social media that fucking much, there's something mentally wrong with you. I could turn my phone off and you know what? Life goes on.
Exactly. Like I've said that before, it's like if everything stopped today, all the Lopez, all the Iamlopez, all the artistry, all the hard work, everything, if it all had to stop today,
yeah,
I'd be okay. Because I have love, I have a family, I have a home.
Right.
I have somewhere to be,
Mm-hmm.
All this is extra. All this is a blessing.
Right.
All this is something that I am using to change the world. And I don't think people see it yet because it's not packaged the way they
Right.
want it to be.
Right.
You know, but slowly but surely, I'm making them believers. You know.
Yeah, that's why I said what I said, because not that it was bad info that he gave me, but I allowed it to influence me.
Right.
And really, I mean, after that conversation, I told him, you know what? I just love talent.
Right.
Even if they blow up or not, whoever I can help, I will. But I'm just not going to help one guy that's looking to go fucking viral on TikTok just so you can make it, because I'm sorry. We can make dance moves and you could do goofy shit on TikTok, but if TikTok gets taken down, guess what? You can still rap.
Right.
You know, I just can't post my videos, you know, to make that made me famous.
And my thing too is like, what if the grid goes down? What if everything goes down? Like, everybody wants to be influencers. Like, do y'all know how to fucking make a fire? Do y'all know how to survive?
Right.
You know,
you're right.
like, shit is real.
Yeah.
Like, and they're so busy with this little handheld device that they don't realize shit is fucked. And like, at any moment it could all go to shit. You know, the world resets itself ever so often. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So in 5 years, acting, you said, Grammys.
Singing, acting. I want a Christmas special, you know.
Have you gave yourself a goal that, like, if by this time this doesn't pop?
No.
Okay.
No, because the sky's the limit, and I'm not putting those limits on myself. I feel like a lot of people shoot themselves in the foot because we are very powerful. What we write into the universe, what we speak into the universe, and so that's why I'm very mindful when I write too. You know, when I write, there's a lot of things that I manifest. So it's like, I'm manifesting greatness. You know, I'm manifesting a way, and now I've recently, with everything that's going on, I've kind of taken my role as a voice for the people who don't have it more serious. You know?
Yeah. Okay, that's good. That's good. Any artists out there that you would like to collab with? Anybody? It could be anybody, dead or alive, that you would have loved to.
Oh, when you bring the dead into the situation, Jenny Rivera, man.
Really?
Yeah. Oh man.
You're about the only person that's ever mentioned her.
What?
Yeah, seriously.
Man. It's Jenny Rivera first and then Selena second. But Jenny Rivera, oh my God, I would have loved. And like, I recently worked with Lopez, and he told me, you know, that he worked with her, and I was just like so starstruck because I really do love that woman. Like, you know.
What is it about her music?
I loved how she just had los ovarios grandes, man. Like, she just didn't give a fuck ever. And she wrote it in her music, and she lived it in her personality, and she was just a bad bitch, man. Like, you know, like, and I know some people are like, oh, that's so derogatory. No, I mean, like, era perrucha, era perrona, la cabrona. You know what I mean? Like, she just took on the world so passionately, so unapologetic, you know, and with all the criticism and all the bullshit, she just kept doing what she loved best, and I was singing, you know, and I was singing her ass off, and it was a movement that she had for so many women. Like, I know, like, I'm not just speaking for myself when I say Jenny Rivera, like, really molded and helped mold some of these strong ass independent women, you know, because you know, donde faltaba el hombre, like, you know, we had to step up. They had to step up, you know, and I feel like she really embodied it because that's who she was. You know, she wasn't playing a part. She wasn't, you know, trying to be all Hollywood. She was a badass singer, and she got better. You know what I mean? Like, you could like she was constantly cultivating her craft and doing different things, and like I loved her music. My tia put me onto her a long time ago. My mom, you know, put me onto her a long time ago, and it's just like, but yeah, her first, and then Selena right after, obviously, because.
Okay.
I just love them both.
Tony, sorry to interrupt. Wasn't it Cocaine that worked with Jenny Rivera?
Yeah,
before
Cocaine.
She passed away?
Yeah. He raps, sings, produces. Yeah, he worked with her. He's the black gentleman that came here, and he told us, I guess he wrote an album or wrote a lot of stuff for her.
Yeah, well, that's it. Javi was he did some of the soundtrack for that last movie that she was on.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, as far as rappers, dead or alive, who would you want to work with?
Oh, man.
Do you think you can hang with a Tupac song?
Oh, hell yeah. Yeah, for sure. Easy E.
Oh hell yeah.
Yeah.
I like Easy. I love Easy.
Yeah, it's crazy because me and Philetto both like I didn't even know he liked Easy E like that. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
I got one Easy E shirt that I wear the fuck out of. Like, I need to get another one. But yeah, they took my dude out, bro. Like, damn, like, you know, he was too great.
It's crazy. Okay, there's Easy E 1 year, the next year Tupac, the next year Biggie. Coincidence?
Never. There's no coincidences, you know.
Yeah, I don't believe in coincidence either.
Ever. But I'm a glitch in the matrix, so it's like, you know, I'm taking care of things.
Who's hot for you right now? Like, who do you say? Like, are you like a Kendrick fan?
Yeah, I would say I do fuck with Kendrick. I like Money Trees. I like the older shit. I mean, obviously, you know, he's going hot right now with that.
Right.
But you know, but I'm like, you know, bitch, don't kill my vibe. Bitch, don't kill my vibe. Like that's the Kendrick that I fell in love with. That's
Okay.
But hell yeah, Kendrick for sure.
Is there any coming back for Drake?
I don't know. He gonna have to show us, to be honest, because I mean, he made a lot of good stuff back in the day, you know what I mean? But it's like, it's just not hitting the same anymore. Like, I don't know. I feel like he's tired of it at this point. I feel like he don't even want to do it no more, you know?
Right. Okay. So I'm going to ask you somewhat of a controversial question, and you could just elaborate as the most as you want or the least as you want, okay? And the reason why I'm asking is because when I was out in Houston, and these interviews will eventually all come out. Like I said, we drop in one tomorrow around 6 o'clock. I asked everyone there, and I would say about 5 of them said this one rapper. Who is the biggest rapper that's come out of Houston, Texas? Okay. A lot of the guys said Pimp C, Meg Thee Stallion, what you said. But 5 of them said SPM.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now, I'm just going to be 100 with you, okay?
Yeah.
I like good rap.
Right.
I just don't like his stuff. I've never have. And I, and I told them this, and they were like, oh, okay, really? Have you tried listening to this song? What if I play you this song? I don't want to hear it, bro. Like, I don't have nothing against dude. I just don't like it.
It's just not my style.
It's definitely not my style. But I did get to see, because the first time I was out there in Houston, it was 1991. The second time was 1997. And then it was just this time. But I finally got to see how big he was by the impact that even years later, people are still talking about him.
Right.
Okay. But those 5 guys all told me, SPM was the hottest thing that ever come out of Texas, Houston. And Lucky Luciano is right under him. I interviewed Lucky. By the way, great interview. I didn't think the interview was going to go that route, but you'll check it out. Because he talks about his faith more than he wanted to talk about music.
Right.
So, okay, cool. What do you say about that? That some people believe that SPM is the biggest thing that's ever come out of Houston, Texas. Yeah.
I think, like, for me, for sure, the way I got put onto SPM was like MySpace, and like back in the day when you would add your music to your MySpace and stuff, and so everybody was all cholad out with the SPM, on their shit, and I think it's kind of like a rite of passage back in the day for like cholias, for like Mexicanas or Latinas growing up, like you get put onto this dope house music, and you feel like you a gangsta all of a sudden, and you start acting out and shit, and so I think that's probably what a lot of people in Houston or certain fan base, like they like gravitate to that.
Okay.
But I mean, we're not gonna negate his numbers. I'm not gonna sit here and act like I don't know. But I mean, homie's got his numbers. But was he hot back then? Hell yeah. It's like now he's holding on.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, you were signed to him at one point.
No.
Okay.
Never signed. No, but I did work there. Yeah.
Okay. How long were you associated with his label or his company or whatever?
3 weeks.
That's it? Damn.
Yeah, because I was just working there. I wasn't an artist there. And then, all the bullshit happened. But there's interviews about that, which I go into detail.
Yeah, we won't get into too much. But last question. Did you ever like talk to him on the phone?
Yeah, man. The man would call me all the time.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's move on.
Thank you.
Because I'll be honest with you. I don't really like to ask these type of questions, but I get people in my DM or in Facebook, ask her this,
Right.
ask her that. So I'm doing it for the people
Yes,
that
of course.
wanted to know. But if you guys want more, I'm sure she has interviews out there where she addresses whatever you guys want. I don't want to do it here. I want to keep it strictly music.
Thank you,
So
sir.
moving on. Now, as far as any Chicanas out here that you would like to work with, or are you familiar with any of them out here?
Oh yeah, yeah. Chicana's out here. Well, she's not from here, but she worked out here a lot. But KP, Crystal Poppin.
Okay.
That's my girl. I love her. We've been talking about getting a track, and we've just been so busy. Like it's just like it. I'm pretty sure it's gonna happen soon, though.
Let me tell you something about her. I interviewed her here twice, and she said a lot of what you said. I'll go heads up with dudes. Like I'll rap against them.
Yeah.
And I'm like, holy shit, you got some balls,
Big one.
Well, sometimes it takes balls to be a woman.
It does, especially in this industry, dog. Like,
Yes.
I mean, any woman that's in this industry's got to have some set of balls. Okay, like just point blank, period. But I think you can see how big they are by how she carries herself.
No, she is. She knows how to carry herself well. And nothing but love and respect to her. I'll tell you another one that's got a big set of balls and doesn't mind telling guys to suck her dick. Reverie.
Oh yeah, Reverie.
Yeah.
Yeah, she be with the fucking. What I'm talking about. She be going in, dog. Like
Yeah, when she
Yeah,
said
hell
that,
yeah.
suck my dick. I was like, what the fuck? But
they don't like it when we talk about appendages we don't have. But it's like it's an energy. Obviously, we know
Right.
we don't have a fucking dick. It's like we're just like metaphorically.
right. Okay.
Hot two on that bitch.
Talk to her. Nah, I mean. Okay. Houston, Texas.
Yes.
What other females are hot out there
Oh,
other than Iamlopez?
are you speaking like in the Latina or just in general?
Just in general.
My girl Sunny the rapper is definitely hot out there.
What's Sunny?
Sunny the rapper.
Sunny the rapper,
Yes.
okay.
She has this beautiful bright yellow personality. If I share her stuff and stuff, but she's definitely blowing up, coming up. I mean that's my girl that I'm thinking about. I'm not trying to like hurt anybody's feelings. I'm trying to think. Big Jade, hell yeah, Big Jade's dope. To be honest, I'm trying to think. Like Morenitas are all the only ones that I'm realizing like that are right there with as far as like
Yeah.
the blow up or like who's doing good. As far as like any of the Latina, the Mexican rappers, I would say it's myself in Houston.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, other than Filero, are you open to work with any other producers, or you just okay?
Yeah, and Filero's open to work with any other artist. It's like it's a hustler's playground, baby. Like and
Yeah.
he's HTX Records. He cook that quick that crack up quick. You know what I'm talking about? He do what he do. So it's like we're all independent. Like as far as like we're not exclusively working together or
Right.
anything. We of course we do a lot of work together. We love to work together.
Right.
But we're not blocking any blessings for each other. You know what I mean? We're
Yeah.
definitely working.
Okay. It's 2025. It's barely February. What
Yes.
more can we expect 2025 from Iamlopez?
Oh, a lot of good music, visuals, performances, tour. I'm on tour, I've been doing a lot of just quick, like in the studio, like sessions as far as like, something from that studio session, like badass beat from a producer, go in, create, write, record, all that. And so I think like that's what we're going to stay focused on. I know a lot of people are asking for a major project, like an album,
Right.
but I think I'm on the road right now. I'm moving, it's touring, and there's so much good music that I have already that when I do drop that album, probably later in the fall, I want it to be well thought out and well, something very
Yeah.
different and vulnerable for Lopez, because I'm getting in my singing bag a lot more recently.
Really?
And I feel like there's something I want to do real special, like for that, but in between that, I'm eating all the beats. So send them hoes. Okay.
It's funny you say singing, and it reminds me once again of my friend that told me it doesn't matter how talented you are, what's the numbers. And it pisses me off that he told me that. But I love the dude, but I know it's true. At least for right now, we know it's
Right.
true. Reason why I bring it up, not too long ago, I was in the studio,
Mm-hmm.
and a very well-known artist, and he played me a song. And I'll tell you the truth, it kind of got me upset. But I love the dude, and I'm not going to say nothing, definitely nothing negative about him. But the way technology is going, that I believe it can take away jobs from talented people.
Right.
Let me explain. So he's playing me the chorus, and I picked up on it. I'm like, okay, that's a little bit too much auto-tone, but it just sounds fake.
AI.
It was AI.
Yeah.
It was, and then he said, well, how did you pick up on it? And I said, bro.
Because it's soulless.
Yes.
First of all.
There you go. And then he goes, okay, well, I'll tell you who did it. And I said, who? And he goes, my homeboy right there. It was a dude who sang it, and he just tweaked it to make it sound like a girl voice. So you know what that tells me? Let's just say that I was going to pay you for a hook. Let's just say I'm going to give you $1,000 for an 8-bar hook, okay?
Mm-hmm.
But now somebody tells me, no, Tony, we can just AI it. I'll sing it in time, tweak it. Now we have a girl, and I'm like, hey, you know what? We're not going to need you after all. That's what I'm afraid that this is what's going to come to.
Yeah, but then it's like when you go to perform it, who's gonna perform that? You're not gonna.
That's what I said.
That.
They said,
Yeah.
oh, we're not going to have one.
And that's my thing is like now it's a rat race for the numbers and for the streams and for the bullshit instead of real performing, real talent, real entertainment, you know?
Yeah, and it just got me so upset because I'm like, bro, like I know talented people that now will probably never ever get a break. Yeah. Because they're not famous on TikTok, they don't have the numbers, and I'm like, well, what happens if your fucking page? Because you know this Instagram page where we follow each other on. This is my fucking 7th Instagram page.
Oh my goodness!
Since I started this fucking podcast, the hate has gone through the fucking roof.
Man, people are just so, you know, and that's they're a part of the problem. That's what I'm saying. It's like instead of going out and being passionate about something for yourself, you're sitting on the couch trolling, you know? And it's like, put the phone down and go find something you're passionate about, man. Like, stop hating on us. Because ultimately, that's why you're hating, because you're fucking miserable inside.
That's
you're
exactly
upset
what it
with
is.
yourself because you never had the balls to go and chase something or do something. And it's never too late, bro. Like, it's never too late to have an epiphany, you know, and start moving in the right direction.
It's never too late.
Never. You know, unless, you know, you took a shit and then you shit it, it's too late. You know,
I don't know where that came from, but no, but you know what? It's true. It's never too late. And I'm gonna tell you, you know what popped into my head right now that you said that, and I'm only bringing it up because you said you were raised in church.
Yeah,
I wasn't raised in church, but I have read a lot of scripture, and this has nothing to do with nothing. But I'm gonna say because it has to do with age. So don't ever think you're too old to do something. God told Moses to go tell Pharaoh to let my people go when he was 80 years old.
Right.
I would have thought it's time to hang on my cleats.
Right.
Like, you know, I'm done.
No, yeah. It's like, no, bro. You're just getting started.
You're just getting started.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah,
Well,
a lot of people would like to ask me my age, and you know, and they like to know, and you know, it's like, don't you? And it's like, no, bro. It's like half of these people didn't make their big break, whatever you want to call it, until they were in mid 30s, almost 40. You know, like.
Right.
You know what I mean?
You know what's funny? Let's talk about age really quick, because you got people like the Rolling Stones. They're still singing "Start Me Up" and they're 80-something years old.
Bro, going on.
Okay. Who's another one? Even in his older age, rest in peace, James Brown was still doing it. Okay.
Vicente Fernandez up until recently.
Was still
R.I.P.
doing it. But isn't it funny that when a rapper, let's just say like a LL or KRS-One gets up there, oh, that old motherfucker. Why do we put an age on rap?
I think it's because like rap has a lot to do with like how hard are you, you know, or like that's how they try to spin it, you know. So it's like you can't be a hard ass old man, you know. It's like what they're thinking, you know what I mean? But it's like really that's the most gangster motherfucker in here, bro.
Yeah.
You know,
you said a hard ass old man. I know a couple of them that are old, but they ain't hard. But yeah, I know what you mean.
That's what I'm saying. You know, it's like the rap. It's like who's the hardest, who's the toughest, who's the baddest, who's the, you know. And pues, after a certain age, they're probably like, you know, compadre can, you know, he can't even walk, bro. His knees, his joints are bad. He needs some glucosamine. Like, he's tired.
You look at people like Snoop that are in their 50s. You got people like Cube.
He eat good. He smoke good. Yeah.
You know, and these guys are still selling out arenas.
Yeah, because they're athletes. You get what I'm saying? This is a sport. You are only as old as you allow yourself to get. Yeah. Some people, after 30, I think there's a statistic of at least like 80-something% of people after 30 years old do not sprint again.
Really?
They do not sprint again. As in they are not running full speed like when they were kids. They will never experience that again. Why? Because all the conditioning. You go to work,
Yeah.
you this, you that. You know what I mean? So it's like we just have to be proactive, you know, and really don't let that number, that clock weigh you down, you know, because ultimately it's just their clock. It's like what you feel. You know what I mean? Like you can have
Yeah.
two different 50-year-olds next to each other, and one of them's a damn tango dancer, and she's
Right.
sculpted, beautiful, healthy. And the other one is, you know, she sits on the couch, you know, and it's just like there's a difference. The work that you put out is what you're gonna get.
It's funny you bring that up. I watch a lot of Joe Rogan. Okay. And he said this, and you guys can fact check me if you guys want. I forgot what episode, but he was talking to someone that was once in the military, and he said, I looked up a poll and it said that 75% of Americans are not fit to even join the military.
No, they're not.
And what you just said, after 30, most guys don't sprint. I'm at the gym 5 days a damn week. Okay? Look, let me tell you something. I know we're all one day going to die. I don't care how healthy you eat, how much water you drink. We're all one day going to die. But you know what? I'm not trying to speed shit up.
Right.
I like breathing.
Yeah, and I'm not trying to get my ass whooped. You know
Thank
what I mean?
you.
Like I'm not trying to be frail and old. And no, I want to be fucking firm and strong,
That's the last thing that I want is
You know?
one of my grandkids wiping my ass while I can't even do that.
bruh.
No,
Right.
that's one thing. Like I got daughters, and I'm gonna protect my daughters, and I want to protect my sons.
Right.
You know, I'm going to be 3 years away from being 60 years old, but I'll still chuck them up with somebody if I had to.
You know.
But if you're out of shape, I'm sorry. How are you going to protect your family? That's a big
Right.
thing. How you can protect your woman?
Right.
You know. So, but anyways, I even forgot what the fuck I was going with that shit. But
Hurry. He said,
Hey,
I'll
you-
whoop your ass. Don't play. That's what he said.
You went on that rant, Tony.
I know I had one earlier.
it's all good. It's all good. Norbert, anything you want to say?
We do have a poll. It's been up for about 1 hour now.
Go ahead.
Did you have a Valentine's Day?
I worked on my Valentine, man. To
All
be
right.
honest.
Okay, well, we got about 228 votes here, and 45% said yes, 36% said nah, and 19% said I'm a Sancho or Sancha.
All right.
Wait, okay, so they said that they thought I had a Valentine?
No. This was a question that we asked the people on the chat.
Okay. So y'all was caked up then. And then some of y'all were somewhere you weren't supposed to be.
You know what? Put the next question because we got about 30 minutes tops. Put have you heard of Iamlopez? Yes, no. Kind of have an indication if they've heard of you or just maybe the first time. Because I believe this is your first interview here in Cali.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you. I know Mo Hustle gave me his words.
Yes.
I will say something, but I'm not. I'll say it afterwards.
Okay.
But you know what? I want to thank you. You know what? Even though we're not finished, but I want to thank you for coming here and giving me the interview because when I started this podcast, there was a lot of rappers that I hadn't seen or heard of in years.
Yeah.
So, but I still had their number and I was still good friends with them. I've always had a good name in the industry. It was only when I started this damn podcast, the motherfuckers tried to smear my name. Only when I started this podcast.
Right.
Before that, nothing.
Right.
So I started calling up all my old friends. Hey, man, I haven't heard from you like in years. We haven't talked like in 15 years. I got a podcast. They would say, what's that? And I'm
Right.
like, well, I'm barely learning what it is. I started this September 11th,
Period.
2019. Everybody didn't want me to go live. Didn't want me to do YouTube. They just said, just put it on Spotify and said, I don't like to listen just to audio. I want to see the motherfucker answer the question.
Right, of course.
So I started calling them up, and that's what literally built this platform from the ground up. Bro.
That's so cool.
You know, contacting
Right.
rappers that you hadn't heard of in a long time. And then there was a lot of rappers that actually got very, very popular because of this platform.
Really?
Very, very popular. One of them I proudly say, and I'm going to give respect to Erica. At that time, she was Bella the rapper's manager. She was 17 years old. This little cute Pocahontas girl came in here, and she just started busting. She started rapping. Her YouTube subscribers, 100,000. Her Instagram, I think she had maybe 6,000 followers, almost 100,000 because of this platform. But you know what? This platform was created to shine light on our people and to give independent artists a voice.
Thank you.
You know.
Thank you. We really appreciate it.
Well, you know what? I want to thank the fans because they're the ones that are watching, and it's because of you
Thank you.
why Rodian Radio
Appreciate it.
exists. But you're very, very welcome. Now, let me share this with you, and I shared it with Mo Hustle before. Today, we have so much that we could break into artists. Let me give you an example. Their music. Say I don't like your music, right? I just think, man, she's whack. Okay. I see your videos. Cringe. I see an interview. Well, she's somewhat interesting. I see her perform. Fuck, she tore it up.
Right.
There's many ways today how we can win a fan.
Gotcha.
There's many ways, and I think you're doing that with your social media, with your performance, with your interviews, your video, whatever.
Thank you.
You know?
Yeah.
And I just think there's a lot of ways to win, and you know what? I believe that good things come to those who have patience. So,
Yeah.
So this album, I mean, this year you said you're possibly going to drop an album, if I heard you correctly.
I would love to. Yeah, I would love to drop something towards the end of the year that can kind of show a vulnerability that I haven't, shown yet. Yeah.
Okay, you kind of want to now. Well, you plan to have any features?
We'll see. Because like I'm not against features, but I have to be very selective with my features because of the way I perform, because of the way I work, because of all of that. And I like to perform my art. I don't like to just get a feature from somebody and it's just, oh, okay, well, we got the feature together. I would love to perform it together. I would love to, do the video, actually collab as artists, do a full-blown collaboration, not whatever. But, because I want it to be good and true art. I want it to be dope, for when we put it out.
Okay. The reason why I asked that question is because when I'm going to work with somebody that's really, really dope, I always tell them, let's try to have no features. Why? Well, if you can't hold your own weight, then you shouldn't be doing this.
Correct.
Okay. Let me give an example today. And once again, people are going to say I'm hating, but I don't give a shit. I speak my mind. When a rapper tells me I got 12 songs on his album and I got 12 features, like, bro, it's a compilation.
Right.
That's not your album. That's a compilation. Now, I do want to say this, okay? And I want you guys to pay close attention. NWA had no features. It was just them. DJ Quick, Second to None, AMG had no features. It was just them. Yeah. LL Cool J went double platinum on his first album. No features. It was just him. Okay? So I believe in hits. I believe in classics. Right. Today, you got a generation of rappers. Man, if I could just get a song with Snoop Dogg. Man, if I could just get a song with Kanye.
Because it's clout, it's clout. It's very much like, oh, I know if I get that feature, I can just skip the line all the way to the top. And no, that's not how that works.
And every time your artist comes out, he has a feature. Every single time I'm like, bro, just...
Yeah, and that's my thing is when I go to perform my music, especially if it's good music, it's going to piss me off if I can't perform it because you're not there. Or I got to, cut out the,
the verse or something.
Yeah, and it's like, that's too much. Like,
yeah, so please understand that I'm come from the era. Now, somebody may say, your ass is just old. No, talent is still talent, bro. Mm-hmm. Talent is still talent. Stop looking for a feature to boost or to make your career.
And a lot of people eat off of that, which I understand. You get what I'm saying? Yeah. Like now the business industry more than ever is a cash grab type shit, like these promoters and all that stuff. And I get it. You get what I'm saying? But there is the pay to play. Like, of course, there's people that are coming up and that need that. They need these performances to learn. Right. They need, these interactions and these things to climb up that ladder. Like I said, I did all that. I did that grunt work. I paid the promoters. I sold my tickets for my slot. I've done all of that shit. You know what I mean? Yeah. And I don't say shit like derogatory. I say shit because it's a lot of shit. People think it's just, oh, I'm going to just go viral and blow up and whatever. And like I said, as quick as it happens, the quicker, it's going to come down. And so Iamlopez, the album has no features. Okay. Awesome. And I didn't need any features.
Right. And look, don't get it twisted. I'm not against features. But what I'm against is somebody saying, if I just get Snoop or if I'm going to make it. Right. There's a quote that says this, that there is no elevator to success. Sometimes you just have to take the stairs.
Listen, that's a bar.
That's a bar. So, yes, there is
you're not lying, man. Like, and that's what I like when I do go to the gym, because I'm more of a like swim, hike type of person. I'd much rather do that, instead of going to the gym. But when I do, I get on the Stairmaster, and that's what I envision. I envision myself climbing to the top.
Okay. Okay. Let me tell you somewhat of a funny story. You guys seen him. You guys know who he is. He has two names. I don't know which one is which, but his name's Kilo/Down. He's the one that sang that song, Lean Like a Cholo. Okay. I had him here. Okay. And he told me a story, and I'm glad he shared it. So I'm only repeating what he said. He said, on my album, that Lean Like a Cholo, he said, I didn't like that fucking song. He said, I thought it was a fucking joke. I thought it was the most ridiculous thing that I ever fucking did. But my label really, this is going to be your first single, and I was fucking against it. And I said, why were you against it? And he said this, because I paid for Snoop to rap on one of my songs. I have Snoop on there. I have Nate Dogg, and he named like 5 others. I think the Dog Pound, somebody like those kind of rappers.
Yeah.
He goes, and not one of those fucking songs hit. It was the goofy song that blew up for me. So what I am saying, his whole point was he was dishing out money, thinking that those songs with the Snoop, the Dog Pound
was gonna be what was gonna break him, and then
You know what? One thing that we're learning, and Tony G said it best, so I'm going to give him the credit. He said this, Tony, nobody knows how to make a hit record. We know what sounds good, we release it, and then we let the public tell us what the next song is, what our hit is. For an example, say that we have a song, let's just say it's Joan of Arc, and I go, that's the hit, that's the hit, that's the hit, that's the one. We all agree. We release the record, and say you have a song where you're just singing.
right,
And that one goes through the fucking roof. That's the one the radio picks up.
right,
Now, we could be mad and say, no, they picked the wrong fucking one. But it's the fans
right.
who decided.
And yeah, and that's something that did come out here in Cali, here in the West Coast, is like something different was definitely brought out of me, you know, because I'm so used to eating it and growling and just fucking being, you know, gritty and just loca
Right.
on the beat, you know. But they pulled out a little lover girl, you know. They pulled out an emotional ass, you know, Mexican song. You know, I would say they pulled out a Cali song for me, you know, and it was just because I allowed myself to really embody other ways of being. Like, instead of trying to prove that I'm the hardest all the time, trying to prove that I'm the fastest, that I'm the dopest, that I'm the, you know, whatever.
Right.
It was really just feeling the music and feeling something good, making something to make me feel good.
Yeah.
You know, I haven't been home since February 7th, you know, and
Wow.
it's been a long time. You know, I have daughters, and so just being in the studio and being able to and desahogarme, like I said, make these songs. It was like 4 songs. It was a lot. It meant a lot to me, and I got to kind of screen it or you know, kind of give it a little teaser at the show in Bakersfield. And when I tell you, like, everyone felt me, you know, it was such a beautiful thing, like because I was able to sing this song in front of so many people. Like, it was so many people. It was the biggest crowd I've ever performed for.
Okay.
And
There was about 1,600 people there. I
Wow.
talked to Big D, Magic's manager, earlier today.
and then seeing everyone like every spot filled up, you know, it was insane. Like, and then for them to feel me and cheer for me and on something that I'd never done before, you know, like it literally was a risk. I took a risk in Bakersfield because I know what works for me.
Right.
I know that the rapping, you know, and my songs, I know all that works, but it's like, can I get these people to feel me for real, you know? And I did, and it was beautiful. It was beautiful, and it opened my eyes to. There is a whole market that I have not tapped into that is waiting for me, and we're there now.
You're there now, and that's what you get for traveling and meeting different people.
Correct. Like, one thing I always say is being there is half of it.
Yeah.
That's the half the work
Any chance we could get a little snippet of that,
of the song.
of the song?
Anything you want to do, whatever. 8 bars, 16 bars, whatever you want to do.
Okay. So this song is called Lágrimas.
Okay.
It's in Spanish, and it goes like this. Por mi tierra he llorado tantas lágrimas, no lo lloraron muchos años atrás, y el orgullo nos quieren quitar. No hay ríos ni puentes que nos alejan, esta tierra siempre fue nuestra, es nuestra. Tantas lágrimas, tantas lágrimas, tantas lágrimas, tantas lágrimas.
Oh, let's give her a hand clap, bro. Let's give her a hand clap. Wow. Now you did that in Bakersfield?
Yes.
Wow.
I did that in front of 1,600 people.
Wow. Now, can you give us some hard-ass lyrics, some bars?
Oh, hell yeah. Hell yeah.
It was 16.
Llegó la reina, la potra, la caballota. Como Evie, cuando llego los gusanos se escondan. Peter tried to pick his pepper, it ain't work, ahora se enoja. Quería choca, pero estos güeyes no se me antojan. So give me the loot, bitch, I was born with the power. Y'all ain't gotta give me no flowers, I get in the booth. Knock it down, Twin Towers, I'm all I can do it for hours. I get to the root, shaka shaking on the counter. Only room will stay around if the rest get the boot. Kick 'em out like a bouncer, check a bitch and reroute her. Cause I got the power plays, I stay in their face. Make it burn like mace, can't be replaced. They can't keep their face, they can't keep their case. Man, I'm on their case, real rapper spray. Hoes stay in their place, body lift no case. And you know what? I tell all them hoes to line it up and say it to my face.
Nah, I mean, all right, let's go, everybody. That was dope. That was dope. Yeah, I didn't know that comes out of you. You're like, seem like this nice girl, and then all of a sudden you get a lion. Yeah.
Hells yeah.
Yeah, it get crazy over here. You know, I think people think I'm bipolar, but really it's just...
I think us March babies are a little bit bipolar.
Yeah, we can actually, I just think we can embody exactly what it is we want to portray when we want to portray it. You know what I mean? So it's like, if you want that lágrimas, emotional person, I can be that.
Yeah.
If you want la monstra, la mala, la loca, I can be that. You know what I mean? So it's really what you want, baby. Let me know.
There it is there. Okay. Two questions and then it's a wrap. Okay. How long now would you say you've been in the industry? How many years?
Like I said, professionally coming out, I started competing 2019. COVID happened, so that stopped. But so April 2021, I have been going ever since. I have not stopped.
So far, any regrets that you have as far as in the music industry is concerned? Any regrets? Do you ever look back and say, man, I should have took that gig. Man, I should have learned the business more. Man, anything.
Yeah, well, definitely learn the business would be one of my top regrets coming in here blind as hell, you know. But one of my bigger regrets, and now I'm realizing, is not tapping into my true roots of singing and of just emotional ass music like that sooner, you know.
Okay.
Like I feel like I could have been making some dope ass music like that. But of course, all this journey had to happen, you know. I regret working with certain people, you know, but everything is a learning process, you know, and I'm grateful that I made it out of, you know, tough situations, and I'm grateful for the skin that has thickened. I'm grateful for the lessons, and I'm grateful for the path that I am now on because I've gone through all these things in my career.
Yeah. Last question. Very, very serious question, okay? Because I really want you to think about this one. Because mine has changed. Of course, when I was younger, I'll tell you afterwards, but you answer yours. And I'll tell you my answer now that I'm older. When it's all said and done, how do you want to be remembered?
I want to be remembered as someone that left a footprint on the planet in the right direction.
Okay.
That's what I want.
For me, when I was younger, I would say I want to be rich. When I was younger. Now, when I look back and I look at my grandbabies, they're my responsibility. I got to lead them in the right direction. So I want them to go visit me one day and say, he was a God-fearing man.
You know, and what's crazy, you're talking about grandkids. I literally, on our way here, we literally drove here from Delano, California. Oh. My great-grandma is buried in Delano, California. I never met her. My mom was like 6, I believe, no, maybe 7 when she passed away. And I never got to meet her. But I've always felt this strong presence of someone, you know, protecting me and taking care of me. And I knew I was going to be out here close. And so I got that information from my grandma. And I was like, where's she buried? Like, I want to go see her. I want to go and take flowers and pay homage to her and you know, and give her my offering of love and gratitude. And we went to the cemetery and we were there for hours looking for my grandma's stone. I had DJ Filero and Mo Hustle and myself. We was ransacking, looking everywhere for Librada Mesa. We were looking for her forever. We even got back in the car, drove to another spot because we were like, maybe it's this one. And I was like, no, these are all way newer. Like, this is not it.
Right.
So finally we go one last spot and I was like, well, we didn't go this way. I was like, turn this way, Filero. Let's go this way. And so we get out and then we go. And like I'm about to give up. I'm already like I was kind of filming throughout, and you can see like I'm already like, desanimada for sure. And I was like, damn. And then I hear Mo and he's like, I found her. And I'm like, no way. I didn't believe it at first, because like he'd be playing with me, but
right.
But he wasn't playing about that. And he found her, man. He found her right before it was gonna be like too late to keep looking because the sun was already going down. And it was such a beautiful thing, man. Like, it was so beautiful to see her stone and just to know, that she is the reason that I'm here.
Awesome.
Something tangible as far back as 1921. That's when she was born. And so, it was a beautiful feeling. And yeah, it's like I want my grandkids and stuff to come to my graveside or wherever they celebrate me at. Because I don't know if I want to be buried, but just to know that you meant that much to someone. And I FaceTime my mom, I FaceTime my grandma, and my grandma started crying. I started crying. So it was a beautiful thing.
That's awesome. Okay, we come to the point where you got any shout outs you want to give, anything I didn't ask you, or anything you want to promote. Now's the time.
Okay. My YouTube, subscribe. Iamlopez. I recently dropped a video. It's called I Got You. Basically it's a fun song with a crazy video that came out. Joan of Arc is out, so make sure you just tap into all streaming platforms, tap into my YouTube, all the videos, all the content that will be coming from my trips and stuff like that. Big shout out to everyone in Houston that's holding me down, all my day ones, all my super fans, and of course all of the people in the industry that have always helped me, and all of my sponsors who have helped, and shown me lots of love, helping me out here because they know how hard it is, especially as an independent artist. So all the love and support that you guys have done, big shout out to y'all. Big shout out to Hustlers Playground, obviously. Big shout out to Mo Hustle. Stay tuned for what we got coming. We've only been working 5-6 months almost, so I'm super excited for what the future holds for us. Big shout out DJ Filero, a friend and a producer, and just amazing. I'm really happy with the two guys that I'm working with right now. It's
awesome.
like it's literally just us three, and there are other people that are coming into play. Big shout out to them for seeing the vision and seeing the potential, and striking when the iron is hot. So,
Awesome.
But
Awesome.
yes,
Let me
big
give a
shout out to you.
Oh, thank you
and
very
Cali.
much.
Okay,
Yes.
we on the West Coast with it, baby.
Want to give a shout out once again to Mo Hustle because he made this possible. I told him I want her first over here.
Period.
And he made it happen. So thank you for that, my bro. We were supposed to hook up in Houston, but our schedules.
Yes. We were still getting ready to come out here and stuff, so it worked out the way it needed to.
All good. Okay, let's go ahead. I just want to do this promotion really quick. If you're going to go ahead and put the album once again, Forever Genesis album dropped on Valentine's Day. Make sure you guys pick it up on all streaming platforms. If you guys want hard copies like CDs or actual vinyl album, hit her up on Forever Genesis on Instagram, Forever Genesis on Facebook, or subscribe to her YouTube, Forever Genesis. Once again, I want to thank her for allowing me to have a small part in this record. She produced 98% of it. I produced one song, mixed and mastered by Tony G, Krista Glove Taylor, and I cannot forget DJ Dominator had a big hand in that too as well. She's very talented. I get behind people that are very, very talented. She played all her instruments. She tracked all her own music. She writes her own lyrics. She did all her own singings. No features, because once again, if you cannot do this yourself, maybe you shouldn't be doing it. Perfect. But it's not rapping, it's all singing, so definitely check it out. Other than that, she was just recently on Dr. Green Thumb podcast, so make sure you guys go check out that little interview that she did with Be Real. I will be on Dr. Green Thumb this Tuesday. I'm probably going to get fucking high contact because every time I go over there, I get contact because I don't smoke. Last time I got so damn high, I got up and I said, I made contact. That's what I said. I was just so damn high.
You connected for sure.
Yeah. So I want to give a shout out once again to Be Real. Much love for inviting me back. this Tuesday at 2 o'clock, I'll be releasing the flyer. Other than that, I want to thank my team. And also, Norby, anything else before we get out of here?
We do have the last poll.
Go ahead.
It was, have you heard of Iamlopez? We got about 81 votes. 16% yes, I did. 57% no, I didn't. And 27% said, now I know.
Now they know. Now they know.
Period. Well, for those who didn't, thank you for tuning in, man. And I hope I can retain the fan, you know?
Absolutely. And once again, you guys, tomorrow I will be dropping my first, and I'm almost going to say controversial episode because I didn't think it was going to go that way, but I'll be releasing it tomorrow around 6, 7 o'clock. And make sure you guys tune in. This is Roading Radio Houston Takeover. And I don't even know if I should even say it, but let's just say I'll be in Houston a lot more. I'm just going to say that, okay? So, all right, let's take us away. We're out of here. See you guys next time.